You're not unmotivated. You're overwhelmed. Let that truth settle for a moment. So many people believe they've lost their drive. They think something inside them has gone quiet or broken. They wonder why they can't start, can't focus, can't move forward the way they used to. But overwhelm doesn't look like panic all the time. Sometimes it looks like paralysis. Sometimes it looks like procrastination. Sometimes it looks like doing nothing at all. That's not a lack of motivation. That's a system with too much input and nowhere to put it. So before we talk about action or direction, we're going to slow this down. Take a breath. Not a deep one you have to force. Just notice the breath that's already there and allow it to soften. You are not here to push yourself. You are not here to fix anything. You are here to reset. Overwhelm happens when demands exceed capacity. Too many thoughts, too many responsibilities, too many expectations competing for your attention. Eventually, the system shuts down to protect itself. That shutdown is not failure, it's self-preservation. So if you've been telling yourself you're lazy, distracted, or unmotivated, pause. Your nervous system has been overloaded. And overloaded systems don't respond to pressure, they respond to relief. Right now, give yourself permission to stop trying. Nothing needs to be solved in this moment. Nothing needs to be decided. Notice your body. Where are you holding tension without realizing it? Your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. You don't need to force those places to relax. Just let them soften a little. Overwhelm often comes from trying to hold too much at once. Mentally, emotionally, energetically. Even when you're resting, part of your mind is still managing, planning, anticipating, worrying about what comes next. So it makes sense that motivation feels far away. Motivation requires space. Overwhelm fills all available space. You don't need more discipline. You need fewer demands. Right now, allow your attention to rest on this moment alone. No past, no future. Just here. If thoughts arise, that's okay. Notice them gently and let them pass. You don't need to follow every thought. Most of them are just noise created by overload. Overwhelm blurs priorities. It makes everything feel equally urgent, equally important. That's why starting feels impossible. When everything matters, nothing can move. This reset is not about organizing your life. It's about quieting the system enough for clarity to return naturally. You don't need to rush clarity. Clarity doesn't come under pressure. It comes when the system feels safe. Safety begins with permission. Permission to pause. Permission to not know. Permission to be human. You are allowed to take a break from figuring things out. Overwhelm often convinces people that rest is dangerous, that if they stop, things will fall apart. But things are already strained. Rest doesn't break systems, it repairs them. So let your breathing remain easy. Let your thoughts slow. You don't need to be alert right now. If you've been feeling numb, disconnected, or foggy, that's also a sign of overwhelm. Your system turned down sensation because it was processing too much. Nothing is wrong with you. You are responding normally to an abnormal amount of pressure. You don't need to motivate yourself back into action. You need to unload what you're carrying. Even a small release helps. Notice if there's a sense of heaviness beginning to ease, or a slight quiet inside. That's enough. You don't need a dramatic shift. Small changes in nervous system state create large changes over time. As this reset continues, let go of the idea that you should be somewhere else in life. Overwhelm distorts perspective. It makes progress feel invisible. But rest restores perspective. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are overloaded. And overload is temporary when it's met with care. As we move toward the end of this reset, remember this truth. Motivation is not something you lost. It's something that returns when overwhelm leaves. You don't need to force yourself forward. You need to feel supported enough to move again. When this audio ends, don't rush back into stimulation. Give yourself a minute of quiet. Then choose one small, gentle action. Not to catch up, not to prove anything, just to support yourself. Overwhelm fades when pressure decreases. Clarity follows. You're not unmotivated. You're overwhelmed. And now, you're giving yourself permission to reset. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay here a little longer. There is no need to move forward yet. Nothing is waiting for you in the next moment. Overwhelm does not release all at once. It loosens gradually as the body learns it is no longer being pushed. Right now, your nervous system is shifting from defense into something softer. This is not the kind of change you notice immediately. It happens quietly, beneath thought. Overwhelm is not just mental. It lives in the body, in the way your shoulders stay lifted, in the way your breath stays shallow, in the way your jaw tightens without permission. So instead of thinking your way out of overwhelm, we're letting the body lead. Notice the surface beneath you, how it holds your weight without effort. You don't need to hold yourself up here. Let the muscles that have been bracing all day begin to release. Even a small release matters. Overwhelm builds when the system has been asked to respond too often for too long without enough recovery. Messages, decisions, expectations, emotional responsibility. Eventually, the system reaches capacity. When that happens, motivation shuts down not to punish you, but to protect you. So if you've been frustrated with yourself, this is your reminder. Nothing is wrong with you. Your system reached its limit, and limits are not failure, they are intelligence. Right now, there is no demand. You are not being evaluated. You are not being watched. You are not being asked to improve. This is a rare state for many people. Let it be unfamiliar without judging it. Overwhelm often convinces people that rest must be earned, that slowing down is irresponsible. But pressure is what created this state in the first place. More pressure cannot resolve it. Only relief can. Notice your breathing again. Not changing it, just noticing. Let there be space between breaths. That space is important. That space is where recovery happens. Overwhelm collapses time. It makes everything feel urgent. But nothing is urgent right now. This moment is complete as it is. You don't need to organize your thoughts. You don't need to plan your next step. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Let it wander without following it. Thoughts will slow on their own when they are no longer being chased. If emotion surfaces, let it pass gently. No interpretation needed. Overwhelm often suppresses emotion until the system feels safe enough to release it. You are safe enough now. You may notice waves of tiredness, or heaviness, or stillness. These are signs of regulation. Your nervous system is stepping down from high alert. This is not collapse. This is restoration. You don't need to rush this process. There is no prize for finishing early. Let your attention rest where it wants to rest. You may even feel moments of boredom. Boredom is not emptiness. It is spaciousness returning. In that spaciousness, clarity begins to form naturally, not as answers, but as calm. And calm is the foundation for everything else. You are not behind because you slowed down. You slowed down because you were ahead of burnout. That is wisdom. Stay here. Let the outside world fade for a little while longer. You don't need to disappear from your life. You just need fewer demands inside it. Your nervous system is not designed for constant engagement. It is designed for rhythm. Effort, then rest. Engagement, then withdrawal. Overwhelm happens when withdrawal is denied. You are restoring balance now. As this deep reset continues, notice how different this pace feels. This pace is not wrong. It is human. You are allowed to live at this pace more often. Even small pockets of it change everything. Over time, overwhelm loosens its grip not because you fought it, but because you stopped feeding it urgency. You don't need to solve your life tonight. You don't need to make sense of everything you feel. Your only task is to allow recovery. When this audio eventually ends, re-enter your day slowly. Reduce stimulation where you can. Create space between demands. Let this reset ripple outward. And remember this truth when pressure returns. You are not unmotivated. You are not failing. You are not broken. You were overwhelmed, and overwhelm fades when it is met with gentleness. You are learning how to do that now. Take your time. This is what coming back to yourself feels like. Let's stay with this state a little longer. There is no need to transition yet. No need to prepare for what comes next. Overwhelm often leaves behind a habit of anticipation. Even in calm moments, the mind waits for the next demand. Right now, there is no next demand. Notice if part of you is still scanning, still listening for what's coming. You don't need to shut that part down. Just let it rest beside you. It doesn't have to work so hard here. Your system is learning something important in this moment. That stillness does not equal danger. That quiet does not mean neglect. It means recovery. Let your attention drift gently through your body, not searching for problems, just noticing sensations as they are. Warmth, coolness, heaviness, lightness. There is no correct experience. Overwhelm trains the nervous system to prioritize urgency over comfort, so comfort can feel unfamiliar. If that's true for you, let it be true without resistance. Comfort does not need to be intense to be effective. Subtle is enough. Even small moments of ease help the system recalibrate. You may notice that thoughts are becoming less defined, less demanding. That doesn't mean you're losing focus. It means your mind is no longer being pulled in 10 directions at once. This is what mental quiet feels like before clarity returns. Not answers, not plans, just space. And space is valuable. You don't need to fill it. Overwhelm creates a sense that time is scarce, that there's never enough of it. But right now, time is wide. There is room to breathe inside it. Let your breath remain natural, no effort required. Each breath is a reminder that your body knows how to regulate itself when it's allowed to. You don't need to manage this process. You don't need to guide it. Rest happens on its own when interference stops. If emotions begin to surface, let them pass without interpretation. If nothing surfaces, that's okay too. Both are signs of release. Your system is doing quiet work beneath awareness. Overwhelm dissolves not through understanding, but through repeated experiences of safety. This is one of those experiences. Stay here. Nothing is expected of you. Nothing is missing. This moment is complete. Remain here. There is no reason to move yet. No reason to check where you are in the process. Overwhelm often creates the habit of monitoring yourself. Am I calm enough yet? Is this working? Should I feel different? For now, you don't need to measure anything. Nothing needs to be tracked or evaluated. Just allow the experience to unfold. Notice how effort has already softened compared to earlier, even if it's subtle, even if it comes and goes. That fluctuation is normal. Regulation is not a straight line. It moves in gentle waves. Your system is not trying to reach perfect calm. It's trying to find balance. Balance feels neutral, unremarkable, quiet. And that's exactly what allows recovery to happen. If your mind drifts into memories or imagined scenarios, let them appear without engagement. You don't need to push them away. You don't need to follow them. They will lose momentum on their own when they are not being fueled. Overwhelm thrives on attention. Rest starves it. Right now, attention is resting. You may notice that your sense of time feels different, slower, less compressed. That's a sign your nervous system is no longer in urgency mode. Urgency is learned. Calm is remembered. Your body remembers how to do this. It has always known. Let your breathing remain effortless. There is no rhythm you need to maintain. Each breath is simply happening. You don't need to help it. If there is any part of you that feels restless, acknowledge it gently. Restlessness often shows up right before deeper settling. It's the system checking whether it's truly safe to let go. You don't need to convince it. Just stay. Safety is communicated through consistency, through nothing bad happening while you remain still. That lesson is being learned right now. You may notice a soft heaviness spreading through the body, or a sense of sinking. That is not fatigue in a negative sense. It's the release of constant readiness. You are allowed to not be ready. You are allowed to not be alert. Overwhelm kept you scanning for what might go wrong. This moment invites you to stop scanning. Nothing is being asked of you here. No response required. Let the world stay outside this space for a little longer. Even if only for these few minutes, you are not available. And that is healthy. Your nervous system needs periods where it is not needed by anything or anyone. Those periods restore choice. Without them, everything feels reactive. As you remain here, notice if there is a faint sense of steadiness emerging. Not excitement, not relief, just steadiness. That steadiness is the ground returning beneath your feet. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It simply stays. And staying is enough. You don't need to hurry this moment along. There will be time later for movement, decisions, and action. Right now is for settling, for letting the system finish what it's doing. Nothing is unfinished here. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. Stay with this quiet a little longer. As we slowly come toward the end of this reset, there is no need to rush the transition. Take a moment to notice how your body feels now, even if the change is subtle. Less tension, less urgency, or simply a little more space inside. That is enough. You don't need a dramatic shift for this to matter. Small nervous system changes are powerful. They compound quietly over time. What you've done here is not nothing. You've given your system permission to stand down, to stop scanning, to stop carrying everything at once. And that matters more than productivity ever could. Remember this feeling, not as something to cling to, but as something you can return to. You don't have to wait until you're overwhelmed again. You don't have to reach exhaustion to pause. You are allowed to reset early. You are allowed to rest often. If this session helped you, if it made you feel even a little less alone, A little less pressured, a little more grounded. Stay connected. Subscribe for more deep resets like this, for moments when life feels heavy, loud, or emotionally demanding. This space is here for you whenever you need to slow down and come back to yourself. And if you feel comfortable, leave a comment with one word that describes how you feel right now. Just one word. No explanations, no pressure. Sometimes naming the moment helps the body remember it later. As you move back into your day, move gently. Let your pace be slower than usual. Reduce stimulation where you can. Give yourself space between demands. You don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to push forward. You're not unmotivated. You're not stuck. You're not broken. You were overwhelmed. And now you've given yourself space to recover. I'll be here when you need another reset. Take care of yourself and move slowly from here.